Just a bunch of poor boys, daddy's girls, children of the cornfield, trying to turn a shift job into a dollar bill. We wear the muddy boots, stay true to how we're raised. Ain't nothing about us fake. You know we're straight out of that dirty south, dirty roads. Nobody got no money, got them signed up pickup trucks, whistling at them from the country. Yes, sir. You know we're straight out of that long.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's the Seahawks going up against the Steelers. With that, let's hand it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call on this Week 3 matchup.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Tonight, we kick off Week 3 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Seattle Seahawks and the Pittsburgh Steelers. They come out here in the eye. First carry for Thomas Rawls. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. And this offense often hinges on one of the best tight ends in the league, and that's Jimmy Graham.
I think he made up for lost time when he got to the NFL because in college, he was mainly a basketball player, a defender who couldn't score. Now he's flipped it around in the NFL. Every time he touches the ball, he's a threat to score.
On second down, Rawls. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. And a look at the Steelers' defensive unit.
Connor Barwin is one of the most versatile outside linebackers in the league. Started his collegiate career as a tight end and basketball player. You see that athletic ability on display each and every week.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. They'll set up a throw. And he's got Lockett. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 23 yards on the play.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Cameron Hayward. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, he hits Austin. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
It's caught outright by Graham. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
I know they don't like, but then you have to start to use your skills, your wiles, right? Your mind to beat guys to the football. And getting your toes tapped in bounds definitely qualifies as that, doesn't it?
The veteran showing he still has the agility. They'll look to throw. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. And a good sign for them right now to have their young quarterback looking confident on the opening drive.
Now, we haven't met a young quarterback, a veteran quarterback. It doesn't matter. We haven't met a quarterback yet that doesn't tell us he's confident about his abilities, right?
That's true.
But when you're young, it's really important to get off to a good start because it does build up that confidence and allows him to play better as the game goes on.
Especially crucial here on the road. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target, and it's 3rd down. Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
And this is going to be incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And that brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, on comes Stephen Hauschka to try and get the Seahawks 3. And Hauschka's kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points. But they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be out of bounds here, a yard shy of the 25 at the 24. Carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I would not want to be an offensive lineman in today's NFL, especially not a center or a guard, if you got to deal with these massive defensive tackles who could not just beat you with strength, but they can beat you with quickness and guile as well. They can get upfield and make plays. And a lot of times what they're taught, just go ahead and tackle everyone that comes in your area and keep the one with the ball.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. This offense has some speed, and certainly Martavis Bryant, he has some speed.
He has that, and he has size. That's what makes him so difficult to cover, because just when you think you have to play him one way, the other attribute kicks in. Martavis Bryant could be an all-star real soon.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters.
This is such a good read defensively. They know that this offense is going to try to get the ball to their playmaker in space. So what do? They crowd him and send bodies at him. And this one winds up being intercepted.
Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down. So they just got the football on an interception. They almost gave it right back the same way.
And, you know, when you look over to the bench after that type of a play, number one is pure relief. Didn't give it up. But it's not the coach you're worried about yelling at you. It's those guys on defense who just intercepted the pass who want to break over there. Hey, take care of the football, man.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. His throw caught at about the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
Partner, they weren't quite in the red zone, but things are starting to get condensed on the field. Throwing the corner route there. Really nice play because it gives them a little bit of room to complete it.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They'll try to run the rolls. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it?
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone. On
the ground, rolls. And he will take this this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Thomas rolls. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And it's no good. He misses the PAT. So file that one away. Could eventually loom large here as the night progresses. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. Short kick. It's taken to the 23. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And the Steelers set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. Le'Veon Bell, kiss him goodbye. It's a big run that time by Bell. 66 yards. And for those worried about whether or not Le'Veon's explosiveness would return, I think we just had our answer.
ACL? What ACL? This guy's back running as if he were totally healthy and never had an issue.
Cousins. And his throw here's incomplete. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant. And that'll bring up second down. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
Michael Bennett is one of the best pass-rushing defensive linemen in the game. Normally plays defensive end, but when they go to those nickel packages and he works inside, look out, offensive guards. You got a problem.
On second down, it's Bell. And he is going to lose yardage here. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An extra defensive back on the field here for third and goal. Now Cousins. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Ladarius Green, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers have now made this a one-score game. And it's no good. He misses the PAT. So file that one away. Could eventually loom large here as the night progresses. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Tyler Lockett now with a return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Then confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field, and they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. They'll go again with Bell. Oh, what a move. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Out left side here to Bryant. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Look at this, a tight end carry. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Shift together here from the D-line. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Cousins on 1st down. Surveying the field. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bashaud Breeland. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
The drive begins with a run by Rawls. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And that's the type of play that'll fire up the defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a 1st down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin, and it's 3rd down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
And you would have to think an obvious passing situation here on 3rd and 9. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's got Lockett. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. These coaches told us they wanted to take the top off this defense. They wanted to be able to stretch them downfield. They showed it pretty well there.
And they knew that if they were able to do that, it would open up everything else. But how did they truly get it done? Practice in the previous week, making sure they had a plan, fine-tuned before they put it into effect in the game.
They come up in an offset eye. 1st down, this is Rawls. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. He'll drop to throw. They set up the screen to Rawls. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They stay on the ground. Rolls again. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. The offense operating inside the 10 at the 8 here. It's 1st and goal. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. Now they'll send a tight end in motion left. 2nd down, the ball on the 2 here, 2nd and goal. Rawls. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's 3rd and goal. Rolls. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here from the right hash, and this one just a chipping. And Hauschka's kick is good. And they double their lead, pushing it up now to 12-6. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Here's Cousins, complete to Bryant. Evades the tackler, and now some space. Martavis Bryant. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Martavis Bryant, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers are an extra point away from taking the lead. And this one through the uprights and good. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. Lockett the return. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They start on the ground with Rawls. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Second down following the run.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Offense faces a third and medium with 6 yards left.
Let's go. Back there. Here we go.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They're going to hurry back to the line now. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Back to the ground attack. It's Rawls. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. First down, he'll drop to throw. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal. And quickly, they get to the line. They'll look to throw here. That's complete right around the 8. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
He was looking for Thomas Rawls there. Third down here.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And Hauschka's kick is good. So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest. As we'll send you down to Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. A look at the offense. offense now here coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Green, 39. Leopard. 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 Leopard.
Again, Rawls. He's been busy tonight. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32.
For me, that was an example of why offensive linemen might want rearview mirrors at times, because you have your assignments to block, but if you can see what's going on in the backfield and maybe the guy carrying the ball is headed in another direction, it might change what you do up front. But if they can't see that and he's not in sync with what they're doing up front, well, this is when you end up with plays like this. A bad one for the offense, a really good one for the defense.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. It's caught outright by Graham. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
They go play action here on first down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store.
Let's go.
A running play for Rawls. And a loose football. Rawls loses it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So a fumble on second down. They're able to maintain possession. Brings up third.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. They'll lock him with a grab over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Here's Rawls. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys. Led them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. Now they'll run it on the toss. They find some open field here. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be third down at about the length of the football. This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. They run with a power back. Rawls. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. The 3rd and inches, trying to pick it up the middle. He had nowhere to go, tackled for a loss.
And you know how we talk about double A-gap pressure, meaning linebackers going in the gap between the center and the guard on either side? Well, it's not always to get to the passer. Sometimes you do that to prevent a running play. Worked pretty well in that situation.
The Seahawks send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
They come up with one running back. That's Bell. Cousins. He's got a man. It's his fullback. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Bell. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result. Because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move to influence the defensive front to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him. Sat there waiting for him and made the play.
Bryant with a catch right side. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? They go play action. Cousins. He completes it to Bryant. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there at 22. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. if things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory? And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
2nd down, Cousins. Green with a catch left side. 15 yards through the air on a first down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, you know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Shift together here from the D-line. Looking to throw. Over the middle here to Wilson. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
And it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here.
Detroit! Hurry up!
This is Rawls. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And in this situation with the lead, now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. And ready now for 2nd and 9. They'll look to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And eventually brought down, but it's near the 5 at the 6. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. They'll look to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And that is incomplete.
And that was a nice play. He knocked it away, but obviously you want the interception in this situation. You want to take away any chance and they have any decision to make on fourth down. But things happen so quickly in the end zone in this compressed area of the field that you're just happy to knock it away and not allow a touchdown.
So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. It's the Pro Bowl cornerback, Richard Sherman. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the 4th quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there? And that's run the football.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. They set up the screen to Rawls. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And Hauschka's kick is good, and that'll push the lead up to 8. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
A give to Bell. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. 3 yards left to grab here on 3rd down. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. 3rd and short yardage. Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding 3rd and short, guarding the first down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Here we go now.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. Out left side here to Bryant. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
I remember pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to.
Back out of that belly. Here we go. Set.
Cousins on 1st down. And Bryant's got it over the middle. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
And let's see what the defensive coordinator may have up his sleeve here to try to get this final last stand and win this football game. Now Cousins. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. To throw, Cousins. A screen to Bell. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. He lost 9 there. That's really going to set him back for 2nd down. The offense certainly looking to score some points, but they also need ball security here late as we get down to the final moments of this one. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwich. For Cousins. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is caught. It's Bryant. And it's a Steeler touchdown. Martavis Bryant, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Steelers are within a 2-point conversion of tying this game. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. Cousins will try and throw. And it's caught. And with it, we are tied here in the 4th. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. Lockett the return. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Incomplete. And that was incomplete, but I don't know how much of that falls on the quarterback. He was pressured.
Brandon, the rush showed up so fast, the quarterback had no chance to get the ball downfield.
Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now. In the slot on the right is Graham. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he's brought down after a good gain. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year and the Davises and the Gardens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, in that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Now they'll throw here, out of the gun. Finding time. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He's got Lockett. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Steelers. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's 4th down. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They need to get this around the 40 to have a chance to win it in regulation. From the 40, it's a 57-yard field goal, so that gives you a gauge.
And all they're trying to do now is pick up yardage in good chunks and get out of bounds to stop the clock. If they end up running a play and get tackled in bounds, they're worried the clock may run out on them and finish the game.
And they'll have to be careful how they handle this. Cousins now after the fumble recovery. Out left side here to Bryant. It's a pickup of 19. And it's good enough for a Pittsburgh 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play. And sometimes it can break big.
Now Cousins. A screen to Bell. And some room to work. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. It'll go as a gain of 10 there. And it'll give the Steelers a 1st down. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Cousins. Over the middle here to Brown. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown with time running out. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for the Steelers. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Second down here after the incomplete pass. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Back to throw. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. In the slot on the right is Graham.
Here we go.
They'll look to throw. They'll lock him with a grab over the middle. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Pittsburgh, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll get a few days to savor this one before they take on the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints.